All that universal energy. So we're good with this? Okay. How are we? Wondering if this one, is this one on? How about, is this one on right now? I'll turn that on. How are we now? Better? Might have been a little bit without microphone. So give me a signal when we're ready. So welcome. What is the vibration of? What is the feeling of? What is the tonality of? Welcome. And so I invite each person in our sacred sanctuary today and each person in their sacred space online today joining us for this welcoming meditation. I invite each of us, and I invite all of us to make welcome sacred sanctuary. To make welcome sacred sanctuary by making a warm and loving and contemplative space in our soul. I invite each of us to feel into that soul-centeredness and to find where that soul-centeredness is for you. And to find that sacred sanctuary of soul-centeredness that is not too warm and not too cold, but just right. Where's that Goldilocks of your soul? Where's the Goldilocks of your soul? Where's the Goldilocks of your soul? And I invite you to contemplate on that sacred space of your soul. What's the golden light of your soul? Not the Goldilock, but the golden light. What's the golden light of the sacred sanctuary of the centeredness of your soul? And is that sacred light, that golden sacred light, is that sacred light like a window that you're sitting before? I invite you now to place yourself in your mind in a window. And I invite you to find a window that you've been at before. And it's a window where the sunlight streams in through the panes of that window. The sunlight streams in. And in that streaming in of that sunlight, through that window that you sat at before, that you are now sitting at again, you feel the warmth of that sunlight. And I invite you to make welcome the warmth of that sunlight that brings into perfect balance the cuddly and comfortable feeling of your soul. And I'm knowing with each of you that comfortable feeling of our soul sitting in front of a window that we sat at before with sunlight streaming in, that our soul is always before a window. It's always been before a window we've sat at before. And today, ours is to open that window. To open that window that we sat before, but this time we open that window and the sunlight no longer has to filter through the window panes. That sunlight directly flows into the centeredness of our soul, the openness of our soul, the welcomeness of our soul. And as that sunlight flows in, as that sunlight streams in, there's a softness. There's a softness of that golden light energy that becomes the centeredness of the sacred sanctuary of our soul. And in the softness of that golden light, we begin to feel a glow in the presence of our soul. And that glow in the presence of our soul becomes the sanctuary of that sacred space of our soul, and that sunlight of the universal that is filtering in, flowing in softly and gently and kindly and warmly, is expanding our soul, and now our soul has become a halo. And it's become a halo with no position. It's become a halo with absolute presence. It's become a halo of the oneness of that golden, soft, warm, comforting light of spirit flowing in through that window that we've opened. And now the window of our soul that is open becomes a halo of ever-expanding light. It's a golden halo of light that has no center. It has no circumference. It has no left. It has no right. It just has a perfect and expanding presence. Oh my. Oh my. I am the presence of that halo of soft and warm and comforting and loving light, and now my body is glowing with that halo energy. Every aspect of my body is haloed in that warm, loving, comforting light of spirit. And oh my, as I am haloed in every area of my physical body now becomes that golden light. The halo of that golden light now becomes the heaven of the light energy that I am. There is no halo, there is no body, there's this oneness of this warm, comforting, radiant, spiritual light. Oh my. Oh my, I'm now the energy radiating back out through the window to the universe. Oh my, I'm one with that energy, that golden light, warm, comforting, loving energy flowing in as and through me, and now it is flowing in as and from me. Oh my, it's coming in the window, it's going out through the window, and oh my, now there's no window. There's no window. There's only the wonder of this amazing feeling of the golden light energy that I am. Ah, I'm home. I am home. It feels so good to be home again. It feels so good to be home again to that unconditional love as golden light energy that I came from, that I am becoming more every day, that I am becoming one with every day. No more windows, no more window panes, no more sanctuary without and sanctuary within. It's the sanctuary of this presence, of this golden light energy that I am. I am receiving that energy. I am radiating that energy. I am the wonder of that energy beyond windows. I am the wonder of that energy beyond definition. I am that wonder of that energy of the sacred space of my soul that I now feel I am the presence of. I am the perfection of. I am the possibility of. That golden, radiant light that I am, that is the golden key to all of the light in the universe, the golden key to every star as one star, the golden key to the light that shines on every planet in all of the galaxies. I am that radiant oneness. I am that radiant goldness. I am that radiant loving energy. And as it flows in abundance, it flows out in greater abundance. I am the inflow, I am the outflow, I am the everflow of faithful presence of this wonderful, golden, radiant light energy that I call the homebound of my soul, the inbound of my soul, and the bounty of my soul right here and right now. And so I invite us to come back to this space of sanctuary. I invite us to come back to this sacred sanctuary. I invite us to come home again. I invite us to come home again to the feeling and the presence and the power of that loving energy that we always have been, we right here and now are, and we always will be. And together, I invite us to say as we come out of meditation, say it in your own way, and so it is. Thank you for joining us online in meditation today. Thank you for joining us in the sanctuary today. And our celebration service will begin in just a few moments. So with Reverend Sunshine Daye, our guest speaker today. So we look forward to seeing all of you there. Thank you.
Just going up and around. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Feel the breath within the breath. Take it in and take it down underground. Feel the rhythm slowing down to the speed of sound. Worry will not take away your trouble tomorrow. Only take away your peace today. Worry will not take away your pain, your sorrow. Bring it back to the breath and it can all melt away. Give out, give in, give out. No longer looking outward for what lies inside. No need to ever cut or sever what can be untied. How in the world does it change? How in the world does it change? The answer always seems to be the same. The answer always seems to be the same. Don't hold your breath. I'm thinking more and more, and for sure now, more and more I'm thinking less and less, no stress. Bring it in, bring it out, bring it in, bring it out. It's so simple that it's easy not to see or believe, but you're exactly where you need to be, so just breathe. Worry will not take away your trouble tomorrow, only take away your peace today. Worry will not take away your pain, your sorrow. Bring it back to the breath and it can all melt away. How in the world does it change? How in the world does it change? The answer always seems to be the same. The answer always seems to be the same. Don't hold your breath. Let it out. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath.
You are so beautiful, you are complete. You are the beggar you meet on.
All right, so I'd like to welcome everyone today for Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont. It's a beautiful day here. I was driving here. It was actually 65 degrees on our dashboard, and I said to Ross, I said, it can't be 65 degrees in July. So we're having a beautiful day, beautiful temperature, so let's all enjoy this wonderful day, this coming together in our Sunday celebration service. And if you're a first-time viewer online, I know we had some wonderful people tuning in from Colorado last week, from Minnesota last week. I believe Steve is watching from Switzerland this week, or Sweden this week. So we had a lot of new online viewers. We're really glad you're here, so welcome if you're here. And we have a welcome packet that if you leave your email address, we will send you a welcome packet at your home if you're online. So After service, as always, we have a fellowship meal. Today we have homemade chili, we have chicken, we have stuffing and cranberry and homemade strawberry shortcake. So we've got a really good fellowship meal. So if you're here, stay for it. And if you're nearby watching online, come on down and join us for lunch. And I invite you to take a moment to silence your cell phone. We know Spirit's always reaching out to us, but Spirit can leave you a text message, and you can get back to that later. And what we're going to work on today is direct connect with Spirit. We're going to direct connect. So let's go to our vision statement, and let's read this together. And we're going with our purpose statement, which is awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. So there's a divine inheritance in each one of us. And so today in this sanctuary, in this teaching, we claim our divine inheritance. We put a claim on it. We call it forth. So we're doing that, and we're knowing that our divine inheritance leads to a world that works for everyone. That's our vision. That's our vision at CSL. That's our vision at CSL Beaumont. And we transform lives. And how do we transform lives here? Through our classes, through our workshops, through our discussion groups, through our Sunday message. And how do we transform lives? One thought at a time. That's our teaching. That's our power. That's our presence that Ernest Holmes says we have. And if Ernest Holmes says, I have it, I believe I have it. And if I believe I have it, I demonstrate it. So I have the power of choice. I have the power of presence. I have the power of love. I know it. I see it. I believe it. And I achieve it. And that's our teaching. What we believe, so we achieve. And so we're an inclusive and transformative community of spiritual practice. And now we'll turn and say, howdy, neighbor. Howdy, neighbor. We like to say howdy, neighbor. Mr. Rogers says, howdy, neighbor. If we just said hello to somebody every day that we hadn't said hello to before, it would transform the world. It's not that complicated. Hello transforms the world. And now, going into our opening song. All right, we got a little dance movement going. I hope you did online, got up and danced with us as well. And it's a new day calling at Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont. And we call that love forward in so many ways. We call it forward in our presence, and we also call it forward in our flower ministry. And so we began the flower ministry a year or so ago, and we invite you to purchase a flower and donate the flowers on a Sunday for a loved one, a special occasion, or for no special occasion, just celebrating a beautiful day. And so today our flowers were donated by Daye Vieira, and she liked yellow and white, and so Ross put together a yellow and white combination for Donna. So Donna, thank you for stepping up, supporting our flower ministry in memory of a loved one. And who was it in memory of? It's in memory of Donna's mom. So step up, support our ministry. We're so grateful for all you do. Donna is also our volunteer of the month. She got our special parking space. So Donna, thank you for all you do. We really appreciate it. And if you would sign up for a fellowship lunch, we have a food challenge. And if you buy the main entree and you sign up for the main entree, we invite you to bring enough for 30 to 35 people. We usually have 30 to 35 people for lunch. You will be reimbursed for the main entree up to $75. So sign up, bring the main entree, everyone else bring side, and you will be reimbursed for it, but bring enough for 30 to 35 people. Joel Goldsmith. Every Thursday, Yvonne Fowler's house. That continues. So join the Joe Goldsmith discussion group. We have a new workshop coming up August 3rd with Reverend Judy Usana. That will be Walking in Balance workshop. There's Joel Goldsmith. Here's our Walking in Balance workshop after lunch in Fellowship Hall, August 3rd. Reverend Judy Usana will be our guest speaker, and she'll be doing a workshop after lunch, and it'll be a love offering. Wednesday, August 13th, we have a community spaghetti dinner from 5 to 7 p.m. We have a Great American Song Fest going on with Jim Marquito and Adrian Madden are getting together to perform songs in a Great American Song Fest for us on that Wednesday night after the spaghetti dinner. So join us for that. And that's coming up again on August 13th on Wednesday. And again, join us for Food for Fellowship. And right now, we have a divine dining slide. That's in August 20th. We'll be going to the Mission Inn. We're having a beautiful high tea lunch at the Mission Inn. We'll be doing a tour of the Mission Inn. It's a silent auction. The sign-up sheet is on our events table in the back, so sign up for that. That would be great. And now, I am your practitioner today, and we always like you at Center for Spiritual Living Beaumont to know that Adrian and myself and Reverend Sunshine Daye, who is our guest speaker today, we're available for prayer after service right over here on this side of the sanctuary, so don't leave here with anything heavy on your heart. Come grab a prayer session with us. Let us transition and transform that energy into that energy of love and compassion and kindness and caring. So we will see and hold that space of love for you. So if you need some prayer work, right after service, we'll be over here. And let's go into our Power Talk. I have a reading today, and this is from Sunshine Daye. And she asked me to read this because we were talking about our Center of Spiritual Living, and we're talking about how do we, let's get together and stand in that compassion and caring and love. So Audre Lorde says this: it's not our differences that divide us. It's our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. And Sunshine Daye says, as we affirm that spirit is all there is, we also affirm that every expression of life across addiction and recovery, race and culture, mobility and ability, youth and elderhood, creed and doubt, orientation and gender, body type and size, passport and paperwork, poverty and prosperity, is spirit in radiant disguise. You are invited to help create a world that works for all. And that begins by stretching our consciousness beyond comfort. Many people enjoy doors that opened almost automatically. The call now is to hold those doors wide for every traveler who we once passed by, recognizing that God shining in each face as surely as it shines in ours. Oneness is not a sentimental idea. It is a living, breathing practice that dissolves the illusion of separation. When we see the recovering addict as holy ground, the immigrant neighbor as divine love in motion, the wheelchair user as an unrepeatable revelation of grace, we participate in the healing of the planet. We dethrone the ego that whispers, mine, mine. And we enthrone the heart that proclaims, ours, ours. In that moment, our wealth, material, relational, spiritual, becomes a channel for justice rather than an island of comfort. We exchange inherited fear for radical curiosity and superiority for sacred partnership. Difference stops being something we tolerate and becomes something we celebrate because it is God's artistry on full display. And what of legacy? Legacies are not built merely on bank accounts or family names. They are etched into the collective memory by the ways we widen the circle of belonging. When future generations look back, let them say we practiced a fierce, joyful inclusion that left no one outside love's embrace. Let them say this, that thoughts create worlds and we chose thoughts big enough to house everyone. By living in conscious oneness today, we seed a tomorrow where every child, every elder, every body, every soul knows they matter. That is a world that works for all. And we are the ones right now saying yes. And so I invite in, as I pray in this sacred service, in the sacred sanctuary today, I'm praying in that sacred yes. That yes from our soul that always says yes. It's that blessed yes. It's that bountiful yes. It's that beautiful yes. It's that yes of the truth of love that we are, that we always have been, and that we always will be. And it's that blessed yes, that sacred yes, that source-felt yes of love in our soul. And as I allow that love in my soul to evolve to become the love of the light in my heart, and that light in my heart to radiate out to all of the faces on this planet, all of the creatures on this planet, all of that living force energy, as I radiate my light out, I receive that light back. I become the radiance and the receiver. I become the radiance and the receiver of that light of love that I am. And in that light of love that I am, I know that there is only one energy, one presence, one source, all inclusive, all loving, all kind, always evolving. And that is the yes that love says to every blessed request. I'm absolutely knowing, and I'm showing today that this is a blessed day in this sanctuary, in this community, and our online community, and Centers for Spiritual Living, as blessed by a sacred yes today. And that sacred yes occurred a few days ago when Reverend Sunshine Daye said, yes, she'd come and do our guest talk for us. So I know we're blessed by the sacred yes of Sunny Daye, by her presence, by her essence, by her inclusivity, mostly by her consciousness, that consciousness of knowing love is all and all is love. I know we're in for a treat today. I know we're in for a special raising and rising and praising up of spirit here in this sacred sanctuary, in your sacred space at home. And so I invite us to welcome Sunshine Daye to this podium, and knowing that we are raising, praising, and amazing up our souls as the energy of love that shines its light upon every face in this world. And as it shines our light on other faces shine their light. It becomes one light, one face, one truth in knowing that love is all, and all is love. And now, Reverend Sunshine Daye, I invite you to step to the podium.
Hello, beloveds. Hello. What a joy. What a joy to be here with you today. And what a joy to... Get closer to the microphone. Thank you. How's that? Does that work for you better? Yes. That's good. Yeah? I can't hear him. I can hear him, but I can't hear him. Would you like me to use the other microphone? Would that be better? I'll turn this. We tried. We gave it a try. How's that? Yes. There you go. Woohoo! I see some hands in the back. Hello, beloved community. Hello. Thank you, Reverend Michael, for that warm introduction and that amazing prayer and anchoring us in consciousness. Yeah, my name is Sunshine Daye. For those who don't know me, that is my name. And I get to live with that kind of joy on a regular basis. What a privilege it is for me to be here with you today. Not only am I a minister at Centers for Spiritual Living, but I also get the opportunity to be what Centers for Spiritual Living calls a regional support coordinator. And what that means is that I have the grand honor and privilege of supporting Reverend Michael, this community, and many communities in Orange County, San Diego County, Riverside County. So I have a large territory that I cover, and it is a great joy that every season we have an opportunity to come together and support one another as ministers so that then we are enriched and enabled to be the best that we can be in our spiritual communities. It's been a bit since I've been here, and I gotta tell you, I've heard so many amazing things about this community, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I was invited to come and simply speak and to bring my experience, my strengths, my talents, my consciousness in an effort to continue supporting you on your spiritual journey, in your spiritual evolution, in your growth and unfoldment. And it is with that intention that I come today. And guess what? There's no personal good. So as I share with you, I'm actually sharing with myself. I'm actually helping myself and helping you. And so what a win-win opportunity. I want to start off by by asking you this question. Have you ever loved God so much only to be told that God doesn't love you? So I hear some yeses and I hear some nos. Imagine that for those who said, no, that's never happened for me. Imagine loving God, loving life, this infinite power and presence that created everything so much, and then being told that God doesn't love you. Now, for me, that is an experience. As a teenager, I was deeply dedicated. My faith was strong. I grew up Jehovah's Witness, and I studied the Bible. Weekly, we would go to Bible study. Weekly at home, I would study the Bible. Every Sunday, we would go to the Kingdom Hall where I would learn about God and about life. And so I was deeply dedicated. At the age of 13, I was baptized because I wanted to serve God. I wanted to serve Spirit. So you can imagine how gutted I felt when my mom found out that I was in a relationship with a girl and then reported me to the elders of that community. And then publicly, from the pulpit, they announced my name and said that I was disfellowshipped from the Christian congregation. And they could look at me, and I was welcome to the community, and I can sit in the chairs, but no one spoke with me or even to me. And some people would not even look at me. Now, in all fairness, I gotta say, they never said God doesn't love you. But we all know that actions speak louder than words. And it was through the words that as a teenager, 15, after dedicating my life, after going out on service, after knocking on doors and saying, "Hi, we're two of Jehovah's Witnesses, and we're here to talk about the Bible and about a loving God," you can imagine the devastation. Disappointment doesn't even reach that, right? I couldn't understand as a teenager how something so sacred as loving another human being could be so wrong. It wasn't like I hurt or harmed someone. I didn't shoot anybody. I didn't steal I didn't steal your car. I didn't do anything like that. But simply because I was me. Our actions speak louder than our words. And today, as we look at oneness means no exception, the message is really about how each of us, individually and collectively, participate. If we want to really get honest, I can raise my hand too, how we other people. How we too, sometimes through our actions, whether they're conscious or unconscious, as spiritual people, how sometimes through our actions we say, "No, not you. You're not included in the us." Now, that wasn't the end, right? That wasn't the end, because obviously here I am today, many, many years later. You know, what happened was that I ended up in Los Angeles. I ended up in a church where Bishop Carl Bean was the minister there. And there he expressed that love is for everyone. Life. L-I-F-E. Love is for everyone. Right? Isn't that cool? Life. Love is for everyone. And it wasn't about, "Oh, you're welcome here, you're welcome here." It was like, you belong. You belong. But I gotta tell you, it was easy to belong to this particular community. Because you see, this particular community with Carl Bean. Now, Carl Bean is the author and the performer who wrote that famous song back in the 70s, "I Was Born This Way." And later on, Lady Gaga redid it, and she credits him for it and things of that nature. So this community in Los Angeles was mostly a gay community. It was also mostly a people of color community. So it was kind of really easy for me to feel like I belong because people look like me, or they act like me, or they live like I do. So feeling welcome there was easier than feeling rejected or welcomed even in my Jehovah's Witness community growing up. But after I was there for 10 years, it was like, there's got to be something more. Like, there's got to be a world where everyone recognizes the divine oneness, the divine humanity that we are. And I found Agape in Los Angeles. And there at Agape, which is a Science of Mind center, I saw all kinds of people. It was quite interesting. And what I saw there and what I experienced there is like, there's so many people who don't look like me, don't sound like me. We're not the same age, the same race, the same political status. We had Christians, Jews, we had people who were just solely religious scientists. We had gay people and heterosexual people. We had tall people and short people and people with different abilities. It was amazing to see that not only were they in the community, in the chairs, but that this was also reflected from the podium. And that there were singers and dancers and sign language interpreters and all sorts of inclusion. Now, I want to talk a little bit about inclusion because as I think about this idea of oneness, oneness is about inclusion. You know, I noticed on the front page of your programs today, if you take a look, which I love and appreciate, it says, "We welcome all loving paths to divinity." Remember I said actions speak louder than words? Are these just words? Or are we individually and collectively welcoming? And how do we welcome? How is it that we actually practice welcoming one another? Walking in this morning while meditation was happening, how was I welcomed? How was I made to feel like I belong? I know in one of my spiritual communities, we do an inventory. And in this inventory, we ask, are we a welcoming group? And if so, how do we welcome the newcomer? How do we welcome the new person walking through the door? Oh, well, we have greeters. Okay. That's a great start. Hi, welcome. What's your name? I haven't seen you here before. I'm so-and-so. Here's where our restrooms are. Or here's, I'm glad you're here. How'd you find out about us? What brings you here today? Wow. Tell me about yourself. You live in the neighborhood? Asking questions and having that welcoming presence is huge. Especially when the people walking through the door don't look anything like us, don't move like we do, are not the same height or shape or race or political status. And even when they are, how welcoming are we? And the reason that this is so important to our movement, this is not just about you. This is not only about this particular spiritual community. This is really about how we, as a larger organization, Centers for Spiritual Living, how we live, not just on Sundays, but everywhere we are. Are we leaving the door open for those people that we pass by? Are we holding the door open so that people feel welcomed? If you were the only Science of Mind book that there was, Would people be able to know that you are welcomed in their hearts, in their mental space? Or would we hear little whispers of that poor such and such and such, these homeless people, these such and such and suches, those gay people, those da 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 da? If that is living within us, believe me when I say that that energy, even though we're here on Sunday and we feel good, that energy is still alive and present and felt. So what do we get to do? Because the truth is that I have bias. We all do. We've been taught to fear people that don't look like us. People who don't vote like we do. People who don't worship like we do. People who have different mobility than we do. We're taught to fear. And you know something? I heard this yesterday and it just really, it struck me. Someone said, the locks on the door to my home only really keep out the good people. Now, there's judgment there. Who's good, who's bad? But think about that for a moment. Because if there's a quote-unquote bad person, that lock is not going to stop them. I say that to question and for us to do some introspective work and ask, do I have a lock on my heart that is keeping out people that are actually for my benefit, and I am here for their benefit? You see, in our Science of Mind teaching, we say there's one life, that life is God, that life is perfect, that life is my life now. I think that's found on page 292 of our Science of Mind book. Now, if that's true, and if that's what we believe, and see, for me, belief is surface level. I want to go deeper and know and trust these words. Because my belief can change. Here you are, all of you came in and you picked a chair. Some were picked for you or reserved for you, right? You pick a chair and you sit down. You just sat down. You didn't even examine the chair. You didn't say, whoa, is this chair going to hold me up? How are the legs? How's the integrity on this chair? Can this chair hold my weight and my size? If I hop or move around, is this chair going to hold me up? No. Some of us trust the chair more than we trust spirit. Oh, what God? Who? What is this? What is that about spirit? But we trust the chair and we sit down on every chair without even examining it. Now, if there is that one life is God, that life is perfect, that life is my life now, then that one life includes all people, everything. Which means that the only way for me to begin to treat others with respect and with love is not the golden rule. And I know many of us have grown up with that golden rule, right? I introduce, and it's not my original deal, the platinum rule. Because the golden rule says to us, I am going to treat Michael the way I want to be treated. It's a good place to start. But guess what? Michael may not want to be treated the way I treat myself. Did that ever dawn on you? The platinum rule says, I am going to treat Michael the way Michael wants to be treated. That, beloved, is respect. That is looking at our one, because we are one, but we're not the same. I love getting a bouquet of flowers. You know, I like the protea and the stargazer, and I love the lilies and the tulips. And when I get flowers that are mixed and so beautiful in that way, they're not the same. Look at this. Look at this arrangement. They're not the same. Are these mums? Mums, and then these are like what? The small sunflowers of sorts, or, right? One flower, the mom is not saying to the other flowers, I'm better than you. Look at me, I'm shining. No, together they make a beautiful bouquet. Together we make a beautiful bouquet. That spiritual bouquet, that community that says that you are welcome here. For those of you who have never felt, one flower is not shrinking back to let the other flower shine. Everyone has this opportunity to shine, to share their gifts and talents. And in a world divided, it is important for each of us, individually and collectively, to do our own work. To question, who is it that I'm most afraid of? Or who is it that I don't like? Or who is it that I don't want coming through those doors? And to really examine what the cause of that is. There's some seed that has been planted in us that is growing and growing, that prevents us from seeing spirit as each of us, as all. All means no exceptions. There's no asterisk. Because when we study, when we're in our classes and courses, what we say that in the beginning, whenever the beginning was, because there's really no beginning in God, right? In the beginning, there was God and only God. Does that ring true here? Yes? Okay. If in the beginning there was God and only God, that means that God created out of itself. It wasn't like God had a garage and said, let me go to the garage and tinker and let me see what I'm going to create here. The only way spirit, infinite intelligence, this omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresent power could create is through some act of involution. If I'm the only thing there is and I'm going to create, I have to create from within me. That's the same with spirit. And as spirit creates from within itself, all is created. All of it. No exception. No asterisk. Yeah, but not these people. Yeah, but not these animals. Yeah, but not these plants. All of it. What we judge as the good, the bad, the ugly, the undesirable. But if they weren't so black. Oh, but if they weren't so flamboyant. Oh, but if they could only speak English well enough. Oh, but if they could only vote the way we vote, because then we could have a good society. All means all. And when I find myself becoming intolerant, and I do, I'm not going to stand here and say that I'm not human, still with some trash and some residue of othering people. But when I find that I become intolerant, I get to pause and go, wow, that is something that needs to be uprooted from within me. My dad was killed when I was 4 years old by a particular group of people or a person of a particular race and gender and, all those social identities. I could easily grow up going, forget them. I hate them. They took my daddy away. I could easily hate Jehovah's Witnesses. Forget them. They took my spiritual liberation from me. They hurt me. They scarred me. They made me think that God didn't love me. They lied to me. We could even hate our parents. They told me there was a Santa Claus and a tooth fairy. Liars. You see where I'm going with this, keeping it light, right? But still the deepness of it, that we can always find a group or a person or a type to other. And it's important for us to recognize that when I do that, I am further away from the truth of my being. The truth of my being is that I am the beautiful, unique, unrepeatable, perfect way that spirit shows up in human form. Yes, you are. Thank you. And as that's true for me, that is true for each and every one. And who am I to say that God makes mistakes? Because if God is perfect, then God doesn't make mistakes. They both can't exist at the same time. So what am I, quote unquote, believing or saying or spewing? I had to have and continue to have these moments where I go, who am I othering? Who's the other? Who's the them? Who's the them? They. If only they would da-da-da. If only they would. If only they would. If only they would. You know how riled up we get. That's why the news is the old. It's not new. It's the old. That's why we come in spiritual community, to be reminded of the truth of who we are and the truth of who everyone is. And that welcoming and oneness is not only words, but it is our action. It's our action. And yeah, I know some days are better than others, and I don't feel very people-y. Be like, look, I don't want to see nobody. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't like people. You ever have those days? To be like, look, I don't want to be around anybody. Right? And yet, it's all about progress, not necessarily reaching a particular mark all the time. How do I progress? And so my message today, beloveds, it's really about encouraging us to continue unfolding. That just because we've arrived at an amazing spiritual community doesn't mean we can rest on our laurels. It doesn't mean like, oh, I'm here. I wish everyone, even if we're saying, I wish everyone had this philosophy. That's part of othering, right? I wish everybody had this because we're so much better than the church down the street. Or we're so aware or so conscious. That is also othering. So here's one practice that I invite you to that came through me many, many years ago that I think is a practice to help us become less biased than we are today. So put your hands together and just point them towards your eyes. And now say, I see the sacred. Now put them to your ears. I hear the sacred. Now put it towards your mouth and say, I speak the sacred. And now put them out in front of you, like to include everyone, and say, all life is sacred. So when you find yourself othering, simply do this practice. I see the sacred. I hear the sacred. I speak the sacred. All life is sacred. I see the sacred. I hear the sacred. I speak the sacred. All life is sacred. One more time. I see the sacred. I hear the sacred. I speak the sacred. All life is sacred. That has been a practice for me that reminds me of the truth. The simple truth that I can see that even in the disheveled or even in that person, I'm looking. I see the sacred. God is right where they are. I hear the sacred. Even if they're talking stuff we don't like, I find the sacred within that. And then guess what? I'm responsible to speak the sacred. Speak the sacred. God bless you. Love unto you. Hello, beloved. To speak the sacred. And I remind myself that all life is sacred. All life is sacred. So, that's it. I mean, truly, there's nothing left for me to say. There's nothing left for me to share other than I am so happy to be a part of not only this spiritual community, but Centers for Spiritual Living as a whole. Because we're willing to do the work that it takes to create a world that works for all. We're willing to do the work to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And it starts right here. I must awaken to my spiritual magnificence. And as I do that, I see the sacred, I hear the sacred, I speak the sacred, because all life is sacred, and so it is.
And so, CSLB is in transition. And one of the transitions that the center has presenced in is a shift of energy in our sanctuary. And I like to call this space Sacred Sanctuary. And only the sacred is spoken here to the best of our ability. And only the sacred is presenced here to the best of our willingness to call it forth. And I feel in creating the space of Sacred Sanctuary, which is very important for me to hold this very sacred space, that we were honored and we were blessed, and Spirit's bounty of love and grace and goodness showed up in the sacred space. It showed up as you, it showed up as me, and it showed up as Reverend Sunshine Daye. And so this is the point we pray out. And so I will pray out this talk by simply saying, and I invite you to do this with me, I see the sacred. I hear the sacred. I speak only the sacred. All life is sacred, and so it is. And I believe we have a song here, Chuck.
I am here for my God to reveal what was said in the beginning. I am here for my God to beginning, in the beginning, God. In the beginning,
And so, during the night, something came to me, and it's a ripple in the pond meditation that we do. And I was thinking of doing it today. We did it in class recently. And as the service opens to a new beginning, not coming to an end, but this is the opening of a new beginning for all of us to open to that greatness and that goodness and that grandness. And while the music was playing and Reverend Sunshine was sharing her love and her presence of spirit, I saw that ripple in the pond as each of us that becomes the ripple in the pond, that then becomes the pond, that becomes the presence of God. The ripple and the pond as one with the presence. I'm knowing that's the truth of each and all of us right here and now. It's a time of sacred giving, and so I invite each and all of us, if you're online, you can donate by texting GIVE 951-420-6909. You can go to cslbeaumont.org and donate there. And if you're in the sanctuary, you can use our debit cards, credit cards, and Marcia in the office. And I invite us to share and speak from that sacredness, our beloved giving statement. So let's do this together. And officers, come forward. I give and receive freely and generously with an open heart and an open mind. The universe responds to me in kind. I know that my beloved community is richly blessed, and so it is. All right, now we circle up around the sanctuary, Reverend Sunshine. We circle up and hold hands, and we sing our way out, and Chuck will key up our sing out song, our circle up song. So if we can close that circle, hold hands, include everybody in it, and if you're comfortable remaining seated, you can join us in consciousness. we know something wonderful happened at CSL Beaumont this Sunday in this sacred sanctuary. And that's something wonderful that happened is we came to, and I invite you to do this with me, we came to see the sacred. We came to hear the sacred. We came to speak the sacred. We came to see this in all life. And so it is. Lunch in Carter Hall, prayer work over here. If you're looking for a prayer, good to see you today, and hopefully we'll see you next week. And for our online viewers, we're so glad you joined us today. I see the sacred.
In my eyes, in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, in my life, I have been searching for something, but you were my dream. You're perfect, you're golden, your light, your love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. When I breathe, when I swallow, caress I feel. When I listen, I hear the most beautiful music out of nowhere. Oh, you're perfect, you're golden, your light, your love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. Light-a-di-di-di-di, light-a-di-di-di, light-a-di-di-di-di, light-a-di-di-di-di, when I'm sad and dark, shallow and in doubt, when I'm trying my best to put one foot in front of the other.